Big O Show. This is the 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 Big O Show.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world. The Sloman.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help. South Florida, listen carefully. Asmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Asmani Garcia delivers results. Asmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Where can you drive a new Acura ZDX for only $439 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty. Good morning, one and all. Does look kind of dark, doesn't it? Does look kind of dark. See, but then it gets too bright. I don't know. I've been trying to balance this thing out, and I can never figure this thing out in the damn studio. You know that? I can never figure this thing out in the studio. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. It just is. It's odd. I don't know what to tell you. We're trying. But anyway, we'll figure it out one day. Anyway, welcome aboard. Hope you all are having some fun. Hope you have a good weekend. I had a great weekend. Nice and relaxing. Only thing is, what was it? The ladies tied on Saturday night. Went with the wife over to the Fort Lauderdale United game. And they had a tie. Was hoping for a win, but unfortunately they didn't get the win. He played a meaningless game yesterday. The real game was the one against Chicago. Panthers looking to finish out the season, and they're finishing it at least on a positive for some of you that were panicking. All kinds of good stuff. And then we got also some irresponsible stuff going out there with the Dolphins. We'll talk about that, which is just ridiculous. Ira Winderman will join us in a couple of minutes. So we'll have some fun with Ira. We'll talk about play-in Heat and play-in Jimmy, since that's what's going on. Markets opened up a little green right now. We've got Bitcoin's like in the same place it's been, 84.4 right now. It's been stuck between 83 and 85 the last couple of days. That's nothing new. Market is opening at 358, even with some of the negative news. So we'll see what goes on there throughout the day. We'll see what new tweet sends it one way or another. Who knows? All kinds of good stuff. And for those of you, who is it that I just saw? Jamie Zorria, thank you, out in San Jose. Appreciate you, my brother. This is a reason why I do the show, mainly. It's like I tell you, the people that actually really give a shit about the show and the human beings that do it, like Sean and myself, asking how, by the way, everything has gone golden. Okay, so you'll know. My MRI went well. For my head, everything's kosher. All my blood work was fantastic. My triglycerides, sugar, everything's got well. I've lost 40 pounds. Duh. So I've got 30 more to go now. I'm in the 230s. I'm going to get down somewhere in the 205, 202, 207, 209, somewhere in that range. I want to stay like right under 210. That's the next stage. I'm waiting for this to heal because I still have, the gash is there, and it's in the process of closing, obviously. But I by the way, my concussion symptoms continue to, deteriorate. Like it's little, like I haven't had headaches or any kind of real dizziness or anything like that. But when I am lying down for a while or whatever, I'll get a little bit of lightheadedness when I have to try to get up. You know what I mean? And all I have to do is wait a couple of seconds and I'm off and running. I'm good. But that's been happening less and less and less. Last couple of days, it's been like it goes away like super quick. So it's really cool. Sometimes it doesn't even happen. So that's actually cool. But it still is happening a little bit. So the good thing about all of this, it reminds me, since now I'm living it, when a player goes through concussion protocol, you just don't know how long it's going to last. You know what I mean? Luckily, I don't play football or hockey or baseball or, some kind of sport where it requires where there's going to be some physical contact and all that kind of stuff. So I do radio. Doesn't require any of that. I can do my job. I'm blessed to be able to do my job in the process while I'm recovering. But if I was an athlete, well, right now I haven't started my exercises again. Why? Because until I can get rid of that little, lightheadedness when I get up on a consistent basis, I can't go out there and start running and start doing shit that I don't know if I could get lightheaded when I'm working out or something. I don't think it'll happen because once you get the blood going, I think it's normal. But I'm just being cautious about it. You know what I'm saying? But for those of you asking like Jamie, everything has checked out. And actually, it's turned into an even bigger positive because of my blood work from where I was, a couple of years ago to where I am now. It's pretty cool. So it's excellent. So thank you for asking. And yes, everything is trending in the right direction. So you'll see. And the next level of transformation for me will freak you out, because I am going to get truly inspired to get really in shape like I've probably never been in my life, actually. So I'm going to wait really late in my life to do it, but I'm going to do it. So what the hell? I'll get the next 30 pounds off and I'll work it out. But I'm going to, where I did the first 40 pounds wasn't really about working out. It was more about discipline, about not eating and not overeating and not over drinking soft drinks and going crazy on everything. I stopped doing that. So I've lost weight. Now I've maintained what I lost. Now I've got to go to the next level and lose the next 30 and then really finish it out. And then I'd like to see my blood work in about a year from now, see where it's at, because that's going to be fun. Because what the blood work does, it takes over from the last 3 months is what it takes, your sugar levels and all that other stuff. And so it's really important for me, for a guy like me that was pushing almost 3 bills, to kind of keep up with all that blood work. So that's the good thing, that everything, all the tests, MRI, everything has turned out to be kosher. We're all good. We're moving forward. And the blood work was the stuff that was really, really encouraging. So that was good to know that the path I'm on has actually paid off. Lots of Fiji. Lots and lots and lots of Fiji. Or choose whatever water you want, bro. You want to buy a filter and, do that stuff like my daughter does, do that too. Whatever, Brita, and all that good stuff. However you do it, bro. But a lot of water in your life. A lot of water. Cleanse. That's what it's all about, baby. So I would be, not that I am a nutritional expert, not a financial expert, just telling you. But just a tip. What can I tell you all out there? All right. What do we have going on in the world of sports? Don't forget, folks. Oh, you got Omega up. You got my man Osmani Garcia. And if you are looking to sell your home, folks, Well, you got to call my guy Osmani Garcia because he knows how to get it done. And the Omega Home Realty Group, oh, yeah, baby. Now, listen, what I like about Osmani is he's guaranteeing to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. So if you are serious about selling your home, now's the time to do it. No delays, no fine print, none of this stuff. It's for real because I know Osmani and I've known him for years. 305-440-1990. And I've talked to you about Osmani over the years on and off because he's been with me all throughout, folks. And listen, the market is hot right now. Now's the time. Now people are looking for homes. So if you want to put your home on the market and you got people that want to move to Florida, call Osmani Garcia. Anywhere in Florida, by the way, not just South Florida. Okay, because it's just like Welton Rayom at times or Sloman's Home Shield. They don't necessarily just represent South Florida. He, of course, has got the ability to sell anything throughout the state. So call my guy Osmani Garcia, someone you can trust, guaranteed to sell your home in 30 days or less. Call him to see if your home qualifies. 305-440-1990, Omega Home Realty Group. All right. What do we have going on? Ira Winderman, by the way, is set to join us any minute now. He'll be joining us so we can talk a little Miami Heat. Let's get to our 3A graphics calendar. Wizards defeat the Heat last night, 119-118. The Miami Heat will open up the play-in on Wednesday against the Bulls. Bulls are favored by 1. The over and under is 219.5. Saturday, Panthers defeated the Sabres 3-2 in a shootout. Tonight, they take on the Rangers. That'll be at 7 o'clock. Tuesday, they wrap up the season against the Tampa Bay Lightning, their opponent probably in the first round there. The Fort Lauderdale United and DC Power played to a 1-1 tie. Inter Miami and Chicago Fire played to a 0-0 game. Saturday, they will take Columbus on the road, by the way, at 4:30. Miami FC over San Antonio 2-1. And they've got U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday taking on Indy on the road. And Rory McIlroy wins the Masters. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Give my guy Alan Blanco a ring, 786-618-1443, custom printing and embroidery. If your company or corporation, school, you need it, call my guy Alan Blanco. He'll get it done. All right, let's go. Let's talk a little basketball, a little Miami Heat and NBA with the one and only Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
What up, Bubba? How you doing? How is your weekend?
Well, interesting. I got to witness one of the largest wins in Heat history in New Orleans on Friday. And then I learned that even the Heat's reserves could mirror what the Heat's regulars do when it comes to the end of games. And Big O, was that absolutely apropos way to end the season, blowing yet another fourth quarter lead for the Miami Heat. It's who they are. It's what they've been. You know, it's the kind of season. I don't mean this. I want to keep doing this with you, whether Heat are still playing throughout the spring. But the reality is, my God, this has been a cursed season. Hasn't it been, Big O?
Yeah. And look, the other night, the 150, it didn't mean shit to me because, dude, you lost the game against Chicago. And that's where, you know, I needed you to win that game to make this thing. Now you make it a lot harder. And now you got to get out of this plan to make this season matter. At least, you know, to feel good. Like we talked about last week, then this is like pivotal here. How you end to at least give me some kind of hope. But if you're going to, you know, shit the bed, as they say, every time push comes to shove, you know, it's disturbing. And it's nice to hear Bam say, well, you know, I know we lost 0 of 3, but, you know, anything can happen, this, that, and all. It's, dude, you got to get it done, man. You got to get it done. And that, to me, that Chicago loss is what left me like, it was like a stab in the gut. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, this end of yours where you guys were winning some games, it was just a little streak in a typical NBA season. That's all it was.
But they have a chance of redemption, which most teams don't get right away. So for as bad as it felt last Wednesday, 1 week later, same locker room, same opponent. And here's the deal, Big O. The Heat have not been good against good teams this season. We know that. We see the record against winning teams. But all they have to do is beat a bad Chicago team and a bad Atlanta or Orlando team, and they still can get where they want to go. I could be talking to you this time next week from Cleveland, and the whole narrative changes. So if Eric Spoelstra is the coach that you've said now for years on our Acura of Pembroke Pines report that you thought he was, if Bam and Tyler are who we think they have grown into, then the Heat should be fine. If not, what's going to happen when I rejoin you next week for our postseason Acura of Pembroke Pines report, we have to question everything. We have to question Spoelstra's approach. We have to question Bam. We have to question Tyler. You have to rethink everything. The Heat have already made.
Here's where I differ with you.
Okay.
I didn't question Spo at all. Either Spo has the players or he doesn't. It's up to Bam or Tyler. You can't get giddied. That's what happened the other night, bro. Giddy played like the way you want Bam or Tyler to play. That's what happened in that game, unfortunately. To me, I can't blame Spo on that. It's time. You can't play like Ryan Tannehill a couple of years ago that all you got to do is either beat a bad Buffalo team or a bad Jets team, because that's what they were in those days.
Mm-hmm.
And all you got to do is win one of the two and get it. And the guy just shit the bed. That night, they were inefficient. They didn't come through. They didn't get it done. And meanwhile, there's the Josh Giddey kid playing out of his freaking mind, lifting his team. At one point or another, Bam or Tyler have to really raise all ships in these kind of moments. And I cannot blame Spo for that. Spo can coach him, put you in those positions, but he's not the one that's stepping over the damn line. We have to just say either this talent is either good enough, either the front office has done a good enough job, or Spo has pretty much milked the most he can out of these guys because they are what they are.
Well, that's a very good phrasing. Milk what they can out of them. This is how I look at how it played out last week. The Bulls are on the rise. They've traded away what they felt was the ballast, whether it was DeMar DeRozan leaving in free agency, Zach LaVine being traded to Sacramento, and now they feel, okay, we're a bunch of young kids coming forward. Only Vucevic really remains. We've got Kobe White and others. So they have an energy. You saw that energy last Wednesday at the United Center. The Heat are the opposite. The Heat are a team that is absolutely drained and exhausted by the shenanigans of Jimmy Butler and how he crapped on their season. And that is a difficult thing to get over when you began the season one way and you're closing the other. So I do put it on Spo to this degree. Can he manifest the energy needed to match the energy of the Bulls? Because, Big O, talent-wise, this Heat team is talented enough. The question with the Heat is, does this Heat team have the energy, the drive, and simply anything left in the tank after being put through what they've been put through this season? Eric Spoelstra's motivator, we will see that if it's there or not there on Wednesday in Chicago.
Yeah, I see. To me, the thing is, here's where dogs take over. It's like, okay, you've been, the supporters the entire time. Well, Bam and Tyler, here's your chance to, like, we're the guys. Like, this is my team. So a lot of times guys out there, in the NBA, when you get that opportunity to become the guy, when you're the backup quarterback and you get the opportunity to become the guy, when you become the ace, you look forward to this kind of shit. And this is what I want Bam and Tyler to look like. Guys like that are taking over and saying, this is my goddamn team, and this is what I'm going to do, and you guys are going to follow me. And I did not see that in that Chicago game, knowing what you need. So on Wednesday, I better see that. That's what I need to see from these two guys.
Still there, if it hasn't been sapped and drained from their blood, and I'll put it this way, Big O. Remember back in the fall when you would do a UM postgame show, a Dolphins postgame show, and then show up for work on Monday. You've got to admit, there were times on those Mondays you were absolutely drained. And even though you planned to do your best possible show, you felt it. I think this Heat team is feeling all the weight of the crap that went on this year. So much still untold, so much probably still to be told. And I think that's the difference. So, can they get up for one more big moment? They did each of the last 2 years, but it also took other supporting players. Max Strus 2 years ago to hit the three-pointers. Other guys last year stepping forward early against the Bulls. So I just need to know, literally, I need to look at their dashboard and see one thing. Is the tank empty or not? And I'm a little bit concerned that the tank is empty.
Emotionally, it has to be because
right.
I mean, it can't be physically. You guys are still too young to
I agree with that. I'm saying emotionally and mentally.
Yeah, it has to be an emotional type of thing. But again, that would be a little bit of a disappointment for me because I think this is an opportunity for those two guys. There's an opportunity to win the fan base over, to maybe win your front office over too, on top of all of that, because if you fail here in the play-in, my God, Ira, it's not just about you and me and the fans questioning. The people in the front office and the ownership have to look,
Sure.
What do we really have here, right?
Well, I'm going to say it's more than just those. I think it's Bam and Tyler, and I'll tell you why. Remember, among the reasons Jimmy Butler decided to leave or force his way out is he felt he didn't have the right supporting cast, that he wound up in the play-in 3 years in a row. The irony being that Jimmy's back in the play-in with the Warriors, but we'll hold off on that for a moment. So if you're Tyler and Bam, you said, well, when we started the season, we were going to have Jimmy Butler gone. When we started the season, we were going to have a rejuvenated Terry Rozier. Definitely not. When we started the season, we were going to have an all-rookie returning player in Jaime Jaquez Jr. ready to take the next step. Not. So instead, Bam and Tyler look around, and they got this always injured Andrew Wiggins there, who when he's on the court can be good, but just isn't on the court enough. Khalil Ware, who is still a kid, who still can get out-matured by others. It's certainly a concern against Vucevic on Wednesday in Chicago. I think if you're Tyler and Bam, you look around almost like Jimmy did, and you're like, is there any other there besides the two of them? So I'll ask you this, Big O. The third best Miami Heat player this season has been?
There's nobody, because nobody's done it for the year.
Exactly.
We've only had patches of players, do it here and there and that kind of stuff. Yeah, but see, to counter a couple of your point you just made, for us to say a rejuvenated Terry Rozier, well, Terry Rozier has never been really anything yet. He's never been really ever consistent in his life.
Well, he was in Charlotte when he had the ball in his hand 99% of the time, but that was on a losing team.
Was he consistent, or was he consistently inconsistent?
He was consistent. He was a pretty good scorer in Charlotte, but they didn't give a rat's ass about winning. And when Ball was out and he was ball dominant, but you had to see he was not going to be ball dominant. There was going to be Jimmy. And even after Jimmy left, there was going to be Tyler, and it was a different role. So you can cast a player in role A.
Yeah, but it's hard for me really to expect Rozier to be consistent. And it's hard for me to expect after last year that Jaquez would take that next step. You're hoping,
right?
These are things that we were hoping for, but it's not stuff you can count on. And you paid Bam and you paid Tyler a lot of money. These guys, they're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to count on them, or if, or maybe. They're supposed to do it. That's the difference there. They're paid to be those guys, and the other night you weren't. And that's where you've got to be that. And I understand who's the third player, but I need my 1 and 2 to play. Like, if you guys want to be considered that, this is the argument that I've had with Heat fans and yourself and everybody else about Bam or Tyler. And, here's the moment, dude. Let's go. You're not even taking on the elite. You're taking on bad teams, bottom end teams going into the playoffs.
And I agree in the play-in, but if you look at this league and you look at the elite teams, it takes more than two. For example, look at the Thunder, league best Thunder, unbelievable supporting cast, 8-9 deep. Look at the Cavaliers. It's not just Donovan Mitchell, and it's not just Mitchell and Allen, and it's Mobley, and it's Garland, and they rounded out the roster. Even you and one more thing. Even you and I talk about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but until they got Derek White and he came around, and until they made the trade for Porzingis, it's not enough. So what I'm saying is Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo can probably lift you to be a 500 team, which they should have been this season. But it takes more. And that's the thing. If you're on the super chat, if you're listening, if you want to chime in, if it takes you as long to name the third best player as it did Big O, that tells you all you need to know about where this roster stands.
Exactly. But you're talking about the number ones, the ones that could challenge for a title. That's not even what I'm thinking. I'm not unrealistic. All I'm asking Bam and Tyler is to play to the level of where you're at right now. Get me to 500. You didn't do that. Beat these kind of teams like the Bulls. What did I tell you a week ago? All I want them to do is get the hell out of the play-in, be the 8th seed, and put up a respectable fight against Cleveland. Do I expect you to win? Hells to the no, dude. But if you can go out there, even sneak out a game and win one, maybe even two. Oh, my God. If you win two, it's like winning a title. But if you can win one and play respectable and lose in the others, I don't care if you're out in 4-1, but if you played respectable, that saves something from the season. But if you fail now to finish out the end of this, it just, I don't know what you're building on right now, to be quite honest. I
agree. I'll give you a perfect example. The Heat have got in touch with me and said, please let our fans know that playoff tickets are available, postseason tickets. And I told them, as soon as I know you have an actual game, I will do that. Well, now we know there are no postseason play-in games. They blew that chance. They could have had it with a win last Wednesday. Now we wait to see if really 2 weeks from now they get to come home and have a playoff game. If you have that white-hot moment again, it will change so much of the narrative. You might not forget they had a losing season, but you'll remember the playoff game and the fight they gave against Donovan Mitchell. So all you're asking for everything that's happened, for Rozier and Jaime Jaquez struggling, for Jimmy getting traded, beat 2 bad teams on the road, and you can erase it. Very few of us get second chances in 1 week to turn a season around. Again, I want nothing more than to be doing the Acura of Pembroke Pines report next week from the lovely shores of Lake Erie, as long as it's not on fire. It will make the season. That's what we're up to. Very few times in life do you get a chance within 1 week to absolutely flip the narrative. The Heat have that opportunity right now.
I'd rather read an article of yours instead of saying all the bullshit from Jimmy caved these guys in and they couldn't overcome and they were mentally worn out and all that. I'd rather read that after all the bullshit from Jimmy that could have caved in their season, that they actually overcame that, got out of the play-in, and played a respectable series against a team that is going to challenge for the NBA title. That's the way to finish. Miami Heat, Eric Spoelstra, and players. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to read at the end, that you overcame some adversity. I'm not asking you, dude, to win a title. I'm not asking you to get to the conference finals. I'm just asking you to not play like a play-in team. Play like a playoff team.
And we'll see that on Wednesday. And look at it, Big O. The Heat are a 1-point underdog when the home team usually gets 3 points just for being at home. So therefore, the wise guys think the Heat have the better team. They just don't have the better venue, which they blew last week. So that should be highly competitive. And if it's not, it would be a shame. Then my thought is, taking it further, the optimal scenario for the Heat would be to get Atlanta on Friday. Orlando's good. Orlando at home are very good. With Wagner and Banchero, they might have the 2 best players on the court when you face them. The Hawks are the Hawks. They Trae Young chucking up a bunch of shots. Quinn Snyder overthinking the situation. You get out of it. So I will say this. If I need 2 things to happen in the next 2 days, it's Orlando winning at home against Atlanta, kicking Atlanta the Friday home game, and then the Heat winning Wednesday in Chicago, playing in Atlanta. That is the path of least resistance, I think. If the Heat beat Chicago but have to go to Orlando, let me ask you this, Big O. You know who the Magic are. They actually finished 500. They won the division of 500.
Yeah.
the Magic at home should be a significant favorite over the Heat. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's no doubt. They're a better team right now. They're a better franchise.
So you need the Hawks on Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, either way, you've dug yourself in this hole.
Mhm.
Find a way to get out of it one way or another. And if you have to beat the Magic on the road, it becomes an even sweeter climb, out of this thing. But just show me something, dude. I was so disappointed because you got grittied. That just, wow, dude. Like that kid played like a flat out stud.
But he played with energy. It was more than skill. It was energy. He was faster to the loose balls. He was higher to the rebounds. He was quicker in transition. How the hell does that happen?
Yeah. No, you're 1,000%.
You've got to want it more. That's what the Heat are. Look, I'm not going to read the whole mantra of the whole culture thing, but every step of their 10-step culture program says they should be the toughest, the grittiest, the hardest working. They weren't last week in Chicago, but there's a chance for redemption this week in Chicago.
All right, so you saw that a lot of the number ones got to the finals in college. So are you looking at it like in the NBA that we're going to have OKC and Cleveland get to the finals, or who
I'm
are
a
you
Boston
picking?
guy. I'm a Boston guy because in a playoff series, been there, seen it, done it. I've seen Tatum, I've seen Brown, I've seen Derek White get it done, Drew Holiday get it done. I would have to favor the Celtics there just because they have the grit to play through a 7-game series, not to take anything away from Cleveland. And I do think Boston and Cleveland are the clear top two. I have many questions about the Knicks. I don't think they get past the Celtics in the second round. Now, in the West, I think it's more wide open, depending how the path works out. I think Denver could wind up with its second legs. Houston, my God, the depth of talent they have. But again, they're like Cleveland. They haven't been on that deep run yet. But the West is where it's going to get really interesting because there are no givens all the way down to the play-in when you have the Warriors and the Grizzlies down there also. It's a completely different, honestly, different league than the East play-in.
So does John Morant shoot his way out of this play-in?
Grenade. He doesn't shoot anymore. He pulls the pin and launches a grenade when he makes a three. So, yeah.
I'm sorry. So does the Warriors season implode because of Morant?
Well, it's interesting because, again, like I said, Jimmy Butler said, I ain't going to the play-in for a third straight year, and here he is. And now he's injured again going into the play-in like he was late in that game against Philadelphia. Look, do I think Golden State could lose at home to Memphis? Absolutely. But they'll get a second chance because they're in that 7-8. I can't see them losing to Dallas or Sacramento. So I think they wind up in the playoffs. But if that old Warriors team has to go against a young Thunder team, I still think it could be one and done for Jimmy in the first round.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I don't give them a chance against the Thunder. The Thunder are too young, too fast, too deep. Yeah, and Jimmy's already, as predicted, the body's already breaking down. All he has to do is play enough games, and that body's going to break down. I mean,
and that's with only playing half a season, so that says something. But if they win their play-in game and play the Rockets, I would give them a chance because I don't know if Houston has the wherewithal to appreciate the moment. So that would be a little different.
By the way, I didn't get your thoughts. What'd you think of that whole Lakers-Dallas game and the fans' reaction, the Luka thing?
It just showed what management did to the fan base, to the team, to Luka. It's still now. Months, or a month after the trading deadline, still unfathomable that could happen, but more unfathomable that they didn't open up bidding to the entire league when they could have got so much more if they did want to go in a different direction. I don't see how anyone lasts there, and I'm not sure the fan base lasts there either.
Yeah, the equivalent would have been trading Marino for us down here or something like that at that moment. Something,
But here's the difference. Dan, at the end, the Dolphins have struggled already in the postseason. Dallas got to the finals. Dallas Mavericks were in the finals last year with so it's timing. It's a matter of when you make that move also and the reasoning, but not a year removed from the NBA finals. Look, you wanted Jimmy Butler traded the year after they made the NBA finals because you felt the time had run out. That was one thing with an older player. Luka is only entering his prime right now. That's the difference.
Yeah, I know. And the Jimmy thing, it just would have been the perfect time to load up on the picks.
If we knew then what we knew for sure now, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, what are you working on this Sentinel so folks can check you out, my friend?
I broke down the history of Heat Bulls, all three games, how they swept the series, the Bulls this season, but the Heat have already been swept by the Bulls 3-0 in a season series, and in 23 went to the finals and beat them in the play-in, chronicled the two play-in games. Even the Bulls said, forget the 3-0, we're starting all over again. Big O, what's interesting is I mentioned that in the article I just posted at sunsentinel.com. This is the first time the Heat have had a multiple-day break between games since February 20th and the All-Star break. You give Eric Spoelstra 2 days to go into the laboratory and game plan against someone, I'm not sure there are many, if any, better than him. So I know one thing. The Heat might get hustled, outrun, out-efforted. They will not get out-strategized. They will not get out-game planned. I'm really curious to see what Eric comes up with.
There you go. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. And, of course, subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Ira, as always, thank you. Safe travels, my friend.
Talk to you from Cleveland next week. We'll see.
Let's hope so, man. You got it. Thank you, Ira. Have you seen the ADX? It is a beautiful vehicle, brand new model, and Acura Pembroke Pines. They've got it, baby. We were there last Friday, Sean and I, in the ADX. Oh, man, they've already got the models rolling in. They got a few more that are coming in that they've ordered. They've just arrived. You can get it for $359 a month, that lease feature. Check it out. The number one Acura dealership in the United States is right in your backyard at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. The Integra, you can get the 2025 model, $339 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ZDX, get electrified, 0% financing for 72 months, $439 a month. And by the way, the Charger, you take it home with you. It's a beautiful thing, man. They got that portable charger too, so you can take it with you and charge your vehicle anywhere. Check it out, Acura Pembroke Pines, RDX 2025 model. We've had two in our home. The RDX is a tank. $399 a month. Check it out, the MDX Tech. Ooh, baby, we can give you $10,000 off the MSRP. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. And if you happen to own or lease an Acura, go see Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber. They will take care of you at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the number one volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Right. Don't forget, folks, Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, proud sponsors of our program when it comes to Welt and Rayom. If you need lawyers you can trust, remember the new laws in our state don't favor us. They favor the insurance companies. So if you suffer some personal injury, business owner claims, condo damage, somebody's busted pipe or some kind of rainstorm or whatever, or homeowner property damage, you call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. The consultation's completely free, 954-966-4646. Criminal defense, bankruptcy, they can help you out in so many different ways. Tell them that Big O sent you. And again, consultation's completely free. So they'll tell you if you got a case or not at Welt and Rayom. All right, what do we got here? Don't forget, folks, you can support the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. As always, we appreciate that big time. And on Venmo, by the way, which is a new one now, you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, or Chainlink donations. Okay, so that's interesting. Nobody's made any Chainlink or Solana, but you can now. I am a Solana and a Chainlink holder, big time believer in both. So you can support the show that way. Remember, we are trying to go to España, go cover the Dolphins. Supposedly it's against the Bengals. I don't know if this season is going to be very special. In fact, I'm not really expecting much. I love them. We'll cover them. We'll do the pre and the post. Not expecting much. But this is the one game that could be special in Spain. Could be a nice shootout between the Dolphins and the Bengals. Hopefully we can win. But if you can help us, send us to Spain. There's the QR code. Make whatever donation you can make. We'd appreciate it immensely. All right? There you go. Use the QR code. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Whatever donation you can make would be greatly appreciated. Bitcoin, by the way, where are we at right now? Where's Bitcoin right now? Let's see, 85,000, 17, whatever, $17 over 85,000. Not bad. The market is up 453 points. The S&P is up 82, and the NASDAQ is about 1.5 up. So you got that going on. Good stuff. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. Markets right now, we really don't know what's going to happen up or down because it just changes constantly. So we'll see how it goes. Brian Radke, you are a stud, sir. Thank you for constantly supporting the show. Thank you for the love on the Cash App. Says, thanks for the show. I appreciate you, Brian. Thank you, my friend. Very nice of you. All right. What else do we have going on? We got a lot of things actually to talk about on a Monday. By the way, the Kane spring game stuff, just kind of find it funny. How many of you just are dying to find out what happened in a spring game that the players, like some of them that you really need aren't even playing. Nothing's really established at this point. As I put out on Twitter over the weekend, when the Canes actually used to win, like championships, and they mattered, nobody gave a shit about spring games. They used to go on all the time. You know why? Because it meant nothing. What means something is when you get to a bowl game, like a real legitimate bowl game. This team can't even win shitty bowl games. That's when you have that much love or attention for a spring game, it kind of shows you your program might be hurting some. When you are where you're supposed to be at, or you should be at, the spring game is like, yeah, everybody all right? Everybody healthy? Okay, good. Yeah, let's move on. Oh, we got to find out who ran some good routes and who looked good at running back and what defender looked good and what quarterback, and none of it means anything. It has zero effect on the season. Every spring game you've had over the years, what's it tell you? That you're going to lose bowl games? That you're not even going to get to bowl games? Is that what it told you? Because I'm sure there were a couple spring games where they came out of it saying, oh, they look really good and this, that. None of it means a damn thing. Spring games. Spring games. We're talking about practice. Not a game, not a bowl game. Practice. In the off season. In April. Practice. We're talking about practice. Spring games. Seriously. Some of you out there, you really need to get laid. Find your favorite girl, favorite boy out there. It's got to be a match for you somewhere. Come on, boys and girls. You got to find somebody you love out there. So any men or women out there, go find that perfect pair of yours. Go play video games. Go boating, fishing, skating, jogging. Go play basketball. If you can't find the person you love, and play with yourself at least or something. But spring games. You people are overreacting or reacting or even give a shit about spring games. Think about it. What has spring games told you as some kind of a precursor to anything over the last quarter century? Not the last year or 2 or 5, last 25. Anything? Does it tell you anything? Again, the only reason is because you're so desperate to have a good football team, you're dying to find any crumb of good news so you can hang on for dear life that somebody broke a 45-yard run in a spring game. Seriously. Get a hobby, man. It's the off season. It's April. You have a coach that can't win shit anyways in December and January when it matters. You have a coach that can't win shit when it matters during the regular season. You're worried about fucking April? Start worrying about the guy winning when it matters, not when it doesn't matter. Okay? Mario wins at recruiting, and he wins at the podium, and he wins with cliches, and he wins all that. He wins in the character category and leadership and all that. Does he win when it matters? No. Focus on that. Okay? Focus on Mario beating Clemson on a consistent basis. Focus on Mario ever getting to the ACC championship game and actually winning it. Focus on Mario getting to the playoffs. Who gives a shit about a spring game? You know, some of you really, you need a life, dude. You need a life, bro. Holy shit, you need to get laid. You need a life. You need a hobby. You need a wife, a girlfriend, a husband, a boyfriend, whatever it is. But boys and girls, let's go. Let's grow up a little bit. Let's have some common sense. Let's do a roll call. Stephen Harris, I see, is number 1. Thank you, sir. I hope you had a great weekend also. I know yesterday's game was meaningless, but how about Triple J's performance means nothing to me whatsoever. It's like you play. Those were 2 G League teams. Nothing. Do it when it counts. Mario Cristobal. Well, you had a great spring practice. Yeah, it don't mean shit, dude. Do it when it counts. Win the ACC games. Win the ACC. Get in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So, Jaime Jaquez, when Chicago rolls around on Wednesday, do it there. Come off the bench with 23. Do it there. Bam, Tyler, do it there. Yeah. The 150-point performance meant nothing to me. In fact, it pissed me off because the 150-point performance, you have the Heat talking about it, you have people writing about it, and franchise record. It means nothing, dude. Means nothing. You beat a nobody in a nothing game where it meant nothing, and nobody that actually meant something was on the court. So, yeah, does nothing for me. Dolphin Dave, Jeff in Long Island. Dolphin Dave says the draft, Dolphins have to hit on 3 starters. Yeah, for sure. They got to hit on a ton of starters. And even if they hit on the starters, can that guy coach him? We've talked about that. True FinFan says, I'm intrigued to know about this rumor. You'll find out about it. Because, again, it's just starting shit for no reason at all, no facts, and no logic. Jay Gelfin, just another manic Monday. Most exciting sports news of the weekend is what you text me when you were wishing me a happy holiday. You got it, Jay? NorCal, Terrence F. Last night, Heat loss just summoned up the season. It's a G League team with G League team. It means the loss, just like the win the other night, means nothing. It's about Wednesday. Get the hell out of the play-in and become the ace seed. That's all I know. I don't want to hear any other excuses. I don't want to hear about, the Jimmy Butler and he, railroaded the season and all of that. You have a chance here to kind of like end it with a positive. It's up to you guys. One-Eyed Jack, good morning to you, sir. Magnus, Akaris, hello. Jamie Zoria, TJ Superman, Kyle Cockrow, he's stacking that Caspa. On my way to 1 million. But I've been stacking for 3 years. Damn. It's pretty good. You're going to become a shark. Right? A shark is 1 million. 100,000 is a dolphin. That's what I want to be. I want to be a dolphin. Just want to be a dolphin. I'll swim by you, bro. Brian Landis. It's like my buddy goes to me this morning. He sent me a text. So Michael Saylor bought 3,439 Bitcoin last night or this morning, whatever, for an official 285.8 million. Now, remember, he's bought over $1 billion and a half or whatever at a time. So my buddy goes, oh, dude, Saylor only bought 3,459. And I go to him, not in the most polite way, because I said, mother effort, do you even have one? And he goes, no. And it was, so I'm like, why are you talking shit, bro? I don't have one. You don't have one. But I'm not talking shit about him only buying 3,459 Bitcoin. He only bought 285 million this time. He didn't buy 750 million. He didn't buy 1.1 billion of Bitcoin. No, he only bought 285. And I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? So now they have a total of 644 Bitcoin worth $35.92 billion. Each Bitcoin is average right now at 67,556. But my buddy's like, oh, he only bought at 3,000. Do you know what you're saying? Do you understand what you're saying? That kind of stuff. Anyway, it's just funny. So that's stacking. So Kyle, way to stack, baby. Way to stack. Oh, let's see. Brian Landis. Kyle says, I'm happy you're in it with me, Big O. We will be celebrating together when it flies past $1, probably to 2 or 3. Yeah, I'm not worried, bro. This is a long haul, and to be quite honest, over the weekend, the news came out. Grayscale took Caspa off their what's it called? Like target cryptos. And I really think what's going on behind the scenes is because there are these major wallets acquiring Caspa. So I think there's some dirty shit going on with Caspa. Like super dirty shit. And I'm not saying Caspa's dirty at all. It's dirty by the big players. I think they're all keeping Caspa down on purpose, and they're all accumulating behind the scenes. So when they do finally put it out there, they're going to be able to, the exchanges will have a ton, and they're going to be able to make a ton of cash on it because they bought it at rock bottom. And because the Fed, I want you to time this. Okay, Kyle, I want you to time this because these people are sons of bitches. When quantitative tightening ends, when the QT ends, and the QE starts, the quantitative easing, and they start printing. Okay, and the Fed start lowering rates and all that, and the markets start getting juiced and all that, that's when you're going to see these son of a bitches, Binance and Crypto.com and OKX and Coinbase, they're all going to list Caspa. They're all going to list Caspa because at that point, then everything pumps, and then they'll easily, Caspa will go to 15, 20 cents, 25, and then they'll list it. And then they had already loaded up at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents. And they're going to make a freaking killing because, of course, if it's at 20 or 17 or 22 or 23, as you know, they'll sell it to you a penny over that, and then they'll charge you 2 to 3%. So they'll make a killing on top of a killing. Okay? This is what's going on. Mark my words. Mark my words, you, Kyle, since you follow it more than anybody else on this board right now, because you're the Caspa man. Okay? Watch. When quantitative easing starts, that's when these SOBs are going to put it out. They don't want to do it now because they don't want people buying it early. They want to be scooping it up early, and those big wallets are showing it. Dirty shit is going on here, bro. Dirty shit with Caspa. They are purposely keeping it down. Let's see. Frankie Fresco. Yeah, you saw that. Sports Extra asked Drew about Tyreek, and he avoided answering. So, well, they have to ask. So last night, I mean, it's all high-pitched softballs. It's been like that at Channel 7 for 20 years. With Drew, they don't push him. Sometimes Shappy would push a little bit. Shappy was the only one because Shappy had balls, but he still wouldn't push to where he had to because they have to maintain the relationship. So yesterday, in order to, I guess, save some face or whatever, Josh heaved a high-pitched softball about Tyreek, and it's been investigated that we're gonna hold off on any comment on. And Drew, of course, doesn't say anything, like always. Now, that segment is only for him to pump anything positive. If there's anything negative, he's not really going to share anything, and he certainly isn't going to get pushed by the people at Channel 7 because they can't. They sold out. It's the way it goes. It's kind of the way the media goes nowadays. There's not a lot of balls left out there. There are a lot of people that will challenge. You know what I'm saying? They're all worried about access, and they're all worried about pissing off a team or the PR staff or something like that. So, notice how a lot of the disdain in Dolphin land is geared towards Chris Greer, and of course it should be because of everything that's gone on. Everybody has underachieved, and but not as much for Mike McDaniel. There's not enough people saying the guy should have been fired already. Why? Because they got to walk into the press conference all the time and deal with him, but they don't deal with Chris Greer, so it's easier to say fire Chris Greer. But everybody knows Mike McDaniel should have been fired a while back already. Everybody should have written that already. Every beat writer, every columnist, everybody that's in the media should have already written that guy does not belong there. And they're not. And if you want to write that Chris Greer doesn't belong there, go for it. You have all the ammunition. Okay? But you also have the ammunition for the McDaniel thing, and it doesn't happen. I wonder if it's because there's a lot more that you have to deal with one guy, and the other guy, you only deal with him twice a year, so you don't really, it's not a big deal. It's just interesting the way it works out that way. Anyway, but so Drew's on Sports Extra, and they completely dodged the Tyreek Hill thing, and what do you expect? Juan Rosa, good morning. Oh, Sean sounded like Vin Diesel for a few seconds. What was that? When did you do the Vin Diesel thing? Did you even talk yet? Have you talked today? You haven't even talked in this first hour, right? Wow. Okay. All right, Juan. It's not 420. C's is in the house. I'm 16. Just made 1,300 trading NASDAQ. Just had to tell someone. Good for you, C's. Good for you, bro. God bless you, brother. I hope you make more. But be careful, my friend. Be careful. Frankie reminds us it's WrestleMania week. I would give anything to see Sean and Frankie broadcasting at a WrestleMania. Would give anything to make that happen. Anything to make that happen. That'd be the coolest thing. Anyway, Cosa Nostra, Magnus. Why do I have a feeling your blood pressure results are going to come up in September? They won't. They will not. I have no expectations for the Dolphins. So nothing's going to really get me that disappointed anymore. Or you're going to hear me throughout the year coming up. You know how I told you last year that that 2024 would be the hot seat year for Mike McDaniel, meaning that's the year that puts him on the hot seat. Remember when I told you that a year ahead of time? You know, kind of like that. You know, I do that shit all the time, right? We tell you ahead of time. Well, I have no expectations for the Dolphins this year. I don't expect them to win anything. In fact, I think it'll be barely 500 or under 500, like 9-8 or 8-9 or 7-10 or whatever. I'm expecting a bad season from the Dolphins, dude. So if they do well, it'll actually give me real pleasure. If they do bad, I'm going to go, dude, this is what I expected. So actually, Magnus, I am so prepared for a shitty Dolphin season. You know, I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to just hope for the best and just maybe enjoy some individual moments. But collectively, I know I'm going to be talking about a loss pretty much more often than not. I know I'm going to be talking about Mike McDaniel not being a good coach or Tua doing something stupid to get himself injured again or whatever. There's no part of me that's expecting anything good from the Dolphins. So I am it's like a Marlins season. Like, I don't expect anything. You know what I mean? Whatever. So, yeah. All the blood pressure stuff was from last year. And guess what? All my health numbers are way down. So I'm good. NorCal says slow and steady wins a race, Big O. You know when it's time, you'll feel it. You got this. Thank you, sir. I will. And I'm definitely going to get down to the low 200s, bro. Lewis says, Big O, I saw Steve's friend at Bagel Place in Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey, Saturday. All right. Nothing like a Jersey bagel. Skylar Tipton, Corso Traven. Good morning, Vietnam. Jonathan Dill. What's say a bad Chicago and Atlanta team when the Heat are in the same position, the Hawks and the Bulls? Just win. Jonathan Dill, beat them and get the hell out of there and be the ace seed. That there's only one respectable way out for the Miami Heat. If you don't get out of the play-in, don't even talk to me. Don't look at me. As the late, great Mad Dog would say, Pat Riley and the entire front office, if you do not get out of the play-in, Pat Riley needs to stare at his shoelaces and don't make eye contact with anybody. Because he and the entire organization are an outright failure this year. That's it. Everybody in the organization, from Pat Riley down, from Mickey Arison down, every one of them, anytime they see a Heat fan, they need to apologize to them. They need to profusely apologize. Okay? They need to make sure they tell people we suck. We're not living. In fact, Mickey Harrison, if your team can get out of the play-in, you should discount season tickets next year. In fact, let's go with price regulation and promotion. Bitch. How do you like that, Mickey Harrison? Huh? Price, regulation, and promotion. Bitch. How about that, Bruce Sherman? Bitch. You don't make the playoffs? 5% discount on all tickets the following season. You don't make them again? Another 5%. Why don't we do that, mother effers? You certainly raise the hell out of the prices when you win. So, Mickey, a few years back, 17, you lowered season ticket prices because you were resetting the team in 08 and 09. That was mighty, mighty professional of you. Well, since your organization now sucks and constantly can't make the playoffs, maybe you should start discounting your tickets because your product ain't living up to the prices, baby. You ever thought of that, Mickey? Look, I get broke-ass Bruce Sherman ain't going to do it because he's a shyster. But, Mickey, you're pulling some shyster shit right now, buddy. With all due respect, let's disrespect, because that's what we do when we say all due respect. We're not laying any respect, and I'm not laying any respect. How about a 5% discount on tickets since you can't make the goddamn playoffs? Relegation and promotion with prices, bitch. You guys are really quick to up the price. The Dolphins are up in the prices, and they don't produce jack shit. Shysters. Shysters. I love it. Panthers. Hey, man, you got to raise the prices? I get it. You actually bring real stars that win, and they get it done. You got a great GM. You got a great coach. You got great players. You get it done. There's a trophy. What the hell do the Dolphins do? And what are the Heat doing lately? And you guys got the balls to raise prices? It's interesting. We're going to raise prices, but we're not keeping up our end of the bargain. The Dolphins never have kept up their end of the bargain. For over 4 decades, these people should still be charging $12 a ticket. Just a little thought, just a little rant there. Just saying, Mickey Harrison. Price, relegation, and promotion, bitch. All right, let's go. Sam the Man, Armando V. Joseph, it is a marvelous Monday, my friend. Lenny Pena says, I have no confidence that this team will get out of the play-in. Chicago is going to seal our fate on Wednesday. We're too inconsistent to win 2 road games. What am I going to do? Argue with logic, Lenny? Let's see. Big Johnson says, got my taxes back finally and bought some Bitcoin with the dip. Yeah, that's what a Big Johnson does. That's why you're Big Johnson. Love it. Let's see what else. Lucas, spring games are just to fill in time for the sports cable like softball or college baseball. Yeah. And again, for the UM-centric websites and writers, and, they could come up with some bullshit to try to create something important out of it when there's really nothing important out of it. Let's see. Shang Tu Sheng. Finns need everything, Shang Tu Sheng. That's why they're where they're at right now. I think Big O is in a dark retreat like Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Well, it's the only way that I could get the right light here. You know what I'm saying? So I got to fix the whole lighting in this place. I need somebody who actually knows lighting because I don't know shit. That's for sure. What else do we have? Think Blue Dodgers, Waking and Bacon out in LA. Good for you, sir. Aquavision. Wilfred Joseph, AEW, many times over. Elwood Hodge. Kahuna Cougar. It's Eric. Okay, I got you, Eric. Good morning, Orlando. Yep, I know you're in Mesquite. What's up, baby? Good to see you, my friend. And say hi to the missus. Mike No-Go Zones. Big O will be hosting a watch party for the NFL draft. Right now it doesn't look like it at all. I don't have a sponsor to go to. I checked in with a couple people, but no, I didn't really try hard, to be quite honest. So I don't know what I'm going to do for the draft. I may just pop in just during, like, right before the Dolphins pick, and then pop back out again. I probably will do something like that. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to sit there and talk shit for hours, bro. I'm just not. I really apologize, Dolphin fans. I don't have a lot of enthusiasm for this season. I have no expectations. That's why the guy that's worried about my blood pressure, they lose. I'm like, yeah, I kind of expected it. They don't make it to playoffs. Yeah, that's what I expected. So I'm already programmed there. I'm already there. I'm lying on that beach, just getting in the sun and chilling out. I'm living in the realities. I'm not doing what you guys do out there. Some of you. Oh, trade Tyreek. As much as I would love it, no, it's just not going to happen, but whatever. So I can't do that. So, yeah, I don't think I'll be doing a draft party anywhere, unless there's a business that wants me to go out there and do it, I'll do it. But I just didn't kill myself to go out there and try to find it, to be quite honest, So it is what it is. And I would only do, like, the first night, the Thursday night. Yeah, I don't even know if I have the energy to do Friday also. It's just hard for me to get up for something that I know is not going to end well. I've been here. I've seen this story. I've seen this story play over and over and over again. So if it was me, I'd get rid of everyone from McDaniel Don. All the big contracts gone. Yeah. But that's just not reality right now. Aquavision. Big O, I expect the top 5 finish in the division for the Dolphins this year. Let's see. Oh, did you hear about the Nico Lavallee kid? He got greedy and the Tennessee. Yeah. Good for him. I'm glad Tennessee kicked his ass out. There'll be a school that'll sucker up and pay him because it's a quarterback, but whatever. It is what it is. The definition of insanity? We need a change of philosophy, says Elwood Hodge. Let's see. John Padilla checking in from California. Thank you, sir. What else? Rosa says, I meant to say, sound like Vin Diesel at 106 when you were adjusting to start the show. Sorry for not including my punctuations to make the okay. All good, baby. Thank you. And Justin Lemansky, thank you, sir. He says, Dolphins aren't going to suck. I'm sure you've said that every year. But that's all right. It's all good, my friend. So, don't forget, you can make a donation on the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always love that. Oh, by the way, on Venmo, you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Chainlink donation. And for those of you out of town, you can make a donation on PayPal. So many ways to help out the show. And of course, we are trying to go to the one road game we want to go to is the one in Spain, because that one will be cool. There'll be a bunch of Dolphin events that we can cover, any breaking news. We'll do our show all week long from a bar in Spain. It'll be our first international Dolphins bar. We have broadcasting from Dolphins bars from sea to shining sea. Now, we have never done one internationally, so España could be our first one. And me, being Basco, Alzugaray, so I get to go visit my peoples. So you can make a donation to get me and Sean to Spain. Whatever you can donate, we'd appreciate it immensely. Please use that QR code, or you can go to our social media pages and you'll see the links there also. Okay. All right. Pat in Nashville says if McDaniel gets a winning record with this roster and a bunch of draft picks, it'll be Miami Miracle too. I agree. And I last week I told you guys about, we were talking about the Tyreek thing and how a lot of you are to blame for the Tyreek situation. Media is to blame for the Tyreek situation. Not just the front office for making the mistake of guaranteeing him the money, or the head coach for enabling him and all the mistakes and everything that he does, and they still give him every break in the book from everything you know and even the things you don't know. Okay? Well, here's where the media also falls short, not only in the Tyreek situation, but reaching out to you guys. Now, it's also your fault because you take it hook, line, and sinker, and you also refuse to, how I told you I'm living in the real world. Okay? You want to say Bam's a star, I'll tell you he's a super role player. You go ahead, I'll live in reality. Okay? And it's proven to be 100%. I live in reality. Those of you that think he's some kind of franchise player, you're wrong. You've been proven wrong over and over and over again. I'll live in reality. Okay? Mike McDaniel is a bad coach. I'll live in reality. All right? So for me, and I've done this already a couple times. We'll continue now here. This is the latest one. Tyreek Hill. Okay? For months now, you've got to cut or trade Tyreek Hill. For months, I've told you the Dolphins cannot do that. The front office and the head coach are trying to save their jobs. They cannot outright cut Tyreek or trade him because that's pretty much professional suicide for them because of the cap ramifications, the cap limitations. They're already limited as it is. You're going to add more limitations to them trying to save their jobs. They have to try to win with the crazy bastard, whether they like it or not. So the media that entertains these things, okay, I get it. Look, you fans that do your YouTube shows, God bless you all. You're fans, you love the team and all that, but you're not media. You're not objective. And so I don't really use most of you as any kind of barometer, but I understand why you would do the silliness because you're fans. But when I see the media do it and you're not using your brain because you just want clicks, or because you're not using your brain because some of them may actually think you can still cut them or trade them, which if you understand their agenda, why would they do that? So now here's the latest one. Now you got people going out there about trading Jalen Ramsey. That's the new one, because I've been hit with that now on DMs. And it's like, do you people understand? It doesn't matter what machinations you come up with that fiscally might make sense to you, okay? But reality doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's moronic. But then you people feed off of it, so that's why you're the problem. Because you're dying for changes. Dude, we all are dying for changes. Do I want Mike McDaniel there? No, but they're not firing him. I told you when in the Colts game, when I told you this is it, you got to fire him now. Will they? Of course not. But I wanted it on the record that this is when I would have fired him already. Because I was off his bandwagon last year. And I told you that, hey, this would be the hot seat year because I was expecting it. I live in reality, remember? A year ago, I told you, hey, this will be the hot seat year because I live in reality. I see what Mike McDaniel is. So now we've got people talking and bouncing off Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek and all that. They cannot do that. They just created these contracts. The cap ramifications, if they're resetting and rebuilding, then yes, of course, you can cut Tyreek Hill and trade him, and you can trade Jalen Ramsey, and you can do whatever you want and take the cap hits. But then you're not really trying to compete. And in their eyes, they're again, I'm in reality, they're trying to compete. You guys that are trying to trade or cut Tyreek or Jalen Ramsey, you're not in reality. And you're not doing a service to the fan base. And if there's something that I'm not going to do with you guys is I'm not going to feed you bullshit just so I can live off hypotheticals because it's a slow season. And because on Twitter or on the website or on radio or whatever, I only talk Dolphins. So I'm limited. So I'm Mr. Media limited that I only talk Dolphins or Marlins or Panthers or Heat or Canes or whatever. So on my show, I'm super lucky here that I get to talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. And I talk about all sports and everything going on in the different sports as they're going on. The ones that matter, of course. I don't give a shit about the Marlins. They don't matter. But we change with the seasons, and we talk about the teams, and we keep you in reality. We're not going to bullshit you just because I want clicks. So I'm not exactly sure why you have media people out there that are entertaining anything that has to do with trading Tyreek or cutting Tyreek, or now the latest is moving Jalen Ramsey. The front office and the head coach are trying to save their jobs. They're stuck. They've given out all these salaries. They have to live with it. Unless the owner from the top says, hey, he lives in my reality. Hey, you guys aren't going anywhere anyways. You know what? We need to start the teardown right now. And in fact, Mike, get the fuck out of here. Unless you're going to do that, because there's no reason you keep Mike McDaniel around once you tear it down. But unless you're doing that because you need to eliminate Mike McDaniel, that guy can't create a culture. So I that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is wrong with some of you out there? Have you not figured out what they're trying to do? So why would they try to do anything that's counterproductive to saving their jobs? It doesn't matter what appeases you or me. You don't matter. Do you understand that? Those of you in the media, those of you as fans, I don't matter. None of you matter. It doesn't matter that I want McDaniel fired. It doesn't matter that you want Tua gone or McDaniel gone or Greer gone or Ross to sell the team. None of that is going to happen. Ross is not selling the team. No one's getting fired. That was already, we told you over and over again, right? That nobody would be getting fired. There's always something. Oh no, Wilkins will get tagged and Wilkins will get a long-term contract. No, they're not paying him. X, they'll find a way to keep X. No, they're not. They're going to let him go. Oh, well, somebody will scoop. The same people that thought that they'll keep X. Oh, well, somebody will scoop him up. Well, he's still out there, isn't he? I guess they're not scooping him up, are they? Ian says, just bought a Trezor wallet. You're a stud. Good luck to you, sir. Please do your homework. Always do your homework. I just, I don't understand it. But let it go, man. Do the responsible thing. If you're in the media, be responsible. I know we're all not perfect. We're all going to make mistakes and all that, but why are we making shit up? I don't get it. Why are we making shit up? Because it makes you happy? Because it buys you time in the off season? Because you're limited and that's all you do is talk Dolphins? Yeah. Maybe you should talk a little life and little finance and crypto and, something else. Maybe mix it up, expand. There's a lot of things that I am so glad that we have this platform that Sean and I can do whatever the hell we want. And we are not, tied to just one sport or something like that, or that I gotta, which I would never do on radio anyways. It wasn't my style to just feed you guys a bunch of bullshit. Also, let's the next half hour, let's talk about the possibilities of trading Jalen Ramsey. Well, why? People reached out to me on that, and it's like, and they show me the link and all that, and it's like, dude, this is a bunch of gibberish. These people are trying to save their jobs. They're not going to save their jobs by eliminating salaries and killing their cap space. It's stupid. So let's tell the fans what's actually really going on. You have people that are trying to save their jobs, and they're going to do whatever it takes to save their jobs, except super mortgaging the future down there. They've already got their opportunity to mortgage as much of the future with all the contracts they gave. They're not doing any more. That's noticeable because they haven't spent big money. Okay. They're not really sacrificing future picks, but they are trying to do whatever they can within their means, and they're trying to save their asses. That's it. They're not trying to get rid of Tyreek as much as they should, as much as they should cut the bastard, but that would be screwed up because they get the cap hit. Somebody else picks him up on the cheap and he has a good year for them. And you're sitting there looking like an idiot. So they're screwed. They made the terrible decision of guaranteeing him the money, knowing what they know about the guy. There's nothing else to talk about. They're stuck with him for this year. I've told you this over and over again. Yet, and now the new one is Jalen Ramsey. None of this shit makes any sense. Why do you people regurgitate it? Why? Because deep down inside, your little body's hurt. Your little heart is hurt. Oh, you mean they're not going to cut Tua? You mean Chris Greer's not going to step down? You mean he's not going to retire? Why? Because you need to see a restart? Is that what it is? Because that's what makes you happy? But you can't live in the reality and just suck it up and do what I did. Okay, this is what you got. This is what you're going with? Well, good luck in the draft. Good luck this season, but I know what's coming. It'll be a disaster. And if it isn't, then God bless you guys, man. You got it done. That's pretty freaking awesome. You got it done. That's impressive. But if you don't get it done, it's pretty much what I expected. You know? And if they clean house, it's pretty much what I expected. That's it. I don't understand anything else because I don't look at it that way. By the way, you can visit our friends at Subaru at Pembroke Pines. We'll be out there the final Wednesday of the month, which is the 30th of this month, 16100 Pines Boulevard. The Crosstech right now, the base, you can get it for $239 a month. Great deals going on right now. The Forester, $259 a month, 3.9% financing. You can get that for 36 months, 0% down, down available. Also, take advantage, sign and drive, baby. The Outback Premium, you can get it for $289 a month, 2.9% financing for 36 months. The Impreza 5-door, great vehicle. You got a youngster starting out to drive, $159 a month, 4.9% financing for 36 months. 0 down is also available. So take advantage, folks. Get on down there. See my friends at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. The Legacy Premium, $279 a month. Also, the Accent Premium, $323 a month. A lot of deals. Tell them that Big O sent you. Service center, parts department. They got it all there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Fins Up is joining the show, listening in Chicago. Thank you, sir. True Fin Fan says, if my memory serves me correctly, you said McDaniel would be on the hot seat this upcoming season. It's last season, preseason, spot on as usual. Yes, sir. Said it all last year that this was the hot seat year, the year that puts him on the hot seat. And sure enough, there he is. You know, just, I live in reality, man. It sucks, but I live in reality. I am not going to sit here and lie to myself. You know, like the other guy. Oh, the Dolphins won't suck. Yeah, bro, they're going to suck this year. But that's all right, dude. You know. I'll do the lying to myself at times. I'll do the blind ass fan stuff. You know, I did reserve rooms in Phoenix and in Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
Sometimes I'll lie to myself, you know, in that sense. I rented an Airbnb just in case they would make it. Figured they had enough talent, but the coach, I figured who he was, and it's over. That's it. I'll give you a chance, but it's over. And the quarterback too. As much as I love my boy Tua, he's another guy that refuses to play smart. It's pretty embarrassing that Tua can't figure that shit out. It's crazy. He can't take care of his body. All the years I've been a Dolphin fan, I cannot get up for this season. This sucks. I know. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. I'm really, really drained for this upcoming season. I don't look forward to this season. I feel like it's going to be a really painful experience for me. It hurts. It hurts. It literally hurts. And it's like I'm expecting the pain. I'm like about to face Clubber Lang, and they asked him, what's the prediction? Pain. I'm expecting it. Sucks. Let's see. I think we all agree they should have kept AVG. Yes. But you don't get chopped then. They draft somebody else. So that's the thing. So we'll see what happens moving on, because if Chop becomes a stud and AVG now gets to 30, long term you get more out of Chop than you do AVG. The guy they should have kept for sure is Rob Hunt. So if Chop turns out to be a stud, then you kind of, exchange one for the other. But there's no doubt they should have kept AVG. He was cheap. But they wouldn't have drafted Chop. They would have drafted somebody else. Wait, Big O. So what you're saying is the Dolphins are not going to the Super Bowl? They're not Super Bowl contenders this year? No, they're not, Ocalajo. They're not. They are not. Just think of the brilliance of trading Ramsey and bringing back the much-valued X to fill the void. The Dolphins will finish dead last this year in the AFC East. Nah, I think the Jets will. We'll barely be in front of them. Hurts big time, dude. That's all I can say. It sucks royally, and it hurts big time. Absolutely brutal. All right, let's go. Let me do a little music here because we always love talking about music. Let me get into musicians celebrating birthdays today. Win Butler, lead vocalist for Arcade Fire, born in 1980. Carl Hunter of the Liverpool band The Farm. All Together Now, right? That song. Let's see who else. Born in 65, by the way. Martin Lenoble, bassist and founding member of Porno for Pyros. Who else is celebrating birthdays? Oh, shit. Larry Ferguson from Hot Chocolate. Not that I know who Larry Ferguson is, but I know Hot Chocolate. So you sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Anyway, in 45 on this day, Richie Blackmore, the great one. Deep Purple Rainbow was born. Who else celebrating birthdays? Loretta Lynn, country singer, born on this date in 1932. All right. Let's go with other famous people celebrating birthdays today. All right. Anne Sullivan, the miracle worker who taught Helen Keller in 1866, born on this date. Actor Rod Steiger, born 1925. Frank Serpico, New York detective, born in 36. He's still around, 89 years old. Pete Rose was born on this date. The late Pete Rose was born in 41. Actor Peter Capaldi, born in 58. He's 67. Actor Brad Garrett, born in 60. He is 65. Anthony Michael Hall. I just saw him yesterday. Actually, they had one of those Comic-Cons in Chicago on Saturday. And for the first time in 40 years, all 5 members of the Breakfast Club were together because Emilio Estevez would always miss these things. So I watched it yesterday for an hour where they asked them all kinds of questions about the Breakfast Club and them and all that kind of stuff. So it was really cool to see all 5 of them together. Although if you go check it out and look for it, I watched it yesterday with the wife. Notice Emilio Estevez, and I'm praying for him, man, because he kept his left hand inside. I know he had some issues, but I don't know if they're still dragging. And he kind of kept his left hand inside his jacket, and his left foot had a certain twitch to it. So I'm wondering if he's having some health issues, but kind of felt bad for him yesterday. But it was nice to see all five of them together and talking about, a movie that obviously for those of us that have been around for a while, Breakfast Club was just amazing. Adrian Brody, by the way, born on this date. He is 52 and born in 73. Debrat, born in 74. She is 51. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Buffy. She's 48, born in 77. Let's see who else. Graham Phillips, the actor, born in 93, is 32. And that is it. For famous people celebrating birthdays, Sean Stanley, sir, do you have any wrestlers born today?
Yes, sir, we do. The Renegade Twins are 25. Crush, or Brian Adams, was born on this date in 1964. We lost him in 2007. Julio De Niro turns 53. Leon Ruff is 29. Marina Shafir, she turns 37. WWE Hall of Famer Lita, she turns 50. And I would like to expand. WWE Hall of Famer Pete Rose was born on this date, 1941. He's a Hall of Famer in the WWE. Yes, sir.
In the ring once?
Actually, he did, I believe, 3 appearances with Kane. He dressed up one time as the Chicken, hit Kane with a bat. Kane tombstoned him, and he did a couple more times with Kane. They kind of brought it back a couple times.
Okay. All right. Did not know that Pete Rose was part of the wrestling lore. Okay.
Yeah, he was at WrestleMania one year. He made a WrestleMania appearance.
I wouldn't know. All right. Let's go with music history. What happened today on April 14th in music history? Well, in 75, Mick Jagger announced that the Rolling Stones would replace Mick Taylor with Ronnie Wood for their upcoming North and South American tours. There were rumors that the job might have gone to Jimmy Page or Jeff Beck. In 94, Kurt Cobain was cremated at a Seattle funeral home. His death certificate listed his occupation as poet-musician and his type of business as punk rock. In 64, a band called the King Bees performed a wedding in London. It featured a singer named David Jones, who would go on to make a name for himself as David Bowie. In 79, the Doobie Brothers had the #1 song in the country with What a Fool Believes. In 82, Van Halen released their 5th album, Diver Down. In 1980, love this album, Iron Maiden released their self-titled debut album, Remember Tomorrow, which, by the way, Bruce Dickinson had some very nice words the other day because Paul Di'Anno passed away recently, and Bruce said that they should retire the song Remember Tomorrow, which I think in honor of Paul Di'Anno is a very cool thing to say on his part. And Bruce went on to say that, he's sung the song himself a couple of times, but because that is the quintessential Paul Di'Anno song, I agree with him on that. And Remember Tomorrow is one of my favorite songs when it comes to Iron Maiden. No matter, I know that Bruce Dickinson is the better singer and he's phenomenal, and I love the Bruce Dickinson era, but I really love the Paul Di'Anno era, and he did a great job with Remember Tomorrow. And Phantom of the Opera, the bass in Phantom of the Opera is just so amazing. What an amazing song. That is just one of the most badass songs ever. So, great album released today from Iron Maiden to start off the journey. In 2002, Radiohead's Phil Selway raised nearly $27,000 from fans who sponsored him in the London Marathon. He finished the race in 4.5 hours. In 1980, Blondie had the #1 song in the country with Call Me. The song would go on to be the biggest single of the year and was also on American Gigolo. Big movie back in the day with Richard Gere, and very popular song in that that movie actually had a pretty decent soundtrack, but Call Me was clearly the number one song in that soundtrack. In 2004, Courtney Love revealed to blend. Oh, forget it. I don't even talk about her. Anyways, that's what happened today in music history. I always skip that useless turd. Sorry. It's the way I feel. Not a fan on giving her any pub whatsoever. Never have been and never will be. Not a fan. What can I tell you? That's where I stand. Let's see, what else do we have here? Buffy was a smoke show. I was more of a Cordelia guy. Buffy's cute, don't get me wrong. What's it called? 5x5 V. What's her name? She was cute too, skinny little girl. She went on to do her own show. But for me, Charisma Carpenter, I think is her name, Cordelia. In Buffy, I gotta say, I'm just being honest. Okay. Was her name Faith? Doesn't sound right. What was her name in Buffy? See, now I gotta go and check it out. What was her name in Buffy, and what's her real name? God. Before I pull it up. Hate it. You guys are probably going to get it before I do. Damn it. What was her name? She had the spinoff after. Elijah Dushku. Thank you, Corso. That's her name? Her name was Faith in it? Was it really? God, I don't remember that. You know that? I don't remember that her name was Faith in the show. And then she had that spinoff show after with the guy from 90210. He was in it. It was only 2 seasons. Yeah, no, I know Cordelia was Charisma Carpenter. That one Corso, I cannot forget. You know what I mean? Okay. I always thought this from the second I watched Buffy to the end, and then she went on to go join Angel in Angel. And for me, Cordelia was the smoke show of the Buffy series. The only thing that I hated about Buffy and Angel, I enjoyed both series. The ending to both sucked. Like it was not a well thought out ending. It just kind of, it almost like they put a cap on it just to put a cap on it. But God, those were not good endings for really good shows, by the way, because Angel was an excellent show as a spinoff. Really enjoyed Angel. But the ending to Angel sucked too. Damn. No, I'm an Angel guy. Spike was cool. He was fun. He was a character. No doubt. Masterson, something like that is his name. Right? Eric Masterson, or I don't know, something like that. I remember that. Good shows. I enjoyed those shows, I got to say. But I will admit the 2 closings, the 2 final episodes of both of those series sucked. Absolutely sucked. Terrible. Yeah, I thought Angel was cool. Yeah. And a good opening theme song too, actually. I thought the theme song was pretty cool. Got to say. All right, what else do we have going on in the world of sports or life or anything else going on? And if you have any questions, fire away too, ladies and gents. Oh, they're doing a soft reboot for Buffy, so it's coming. Really? But what do you mean by soft? Is she involved? Is Geller involved? If Geller's not involved, you can't do it. You know? But I'll tell you this. There are a couple of people like Allison Hannigan. She did well for herself post Buffy and all that. But the guy, Sander, that poor guy had a bunch of trouble after. He got in trouble, all of that. You know, he would love to reboot because he would need to work. It's kind of like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. You know, Keanu Reeves can go do his stuff, but every time he comes back, at least his partner makes a check. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you revive Jay and Silent Bob, you know, it's like, well, Jay gets to pull in a check because Silent Bob, you know, Kevin has been working. He makes his money. So it's almost like some of these people, when you do reboot these kind of things, you know, some of them don't have, that was their peak and that's it. That's all they have. And so they get to do another check, which is good. Skylar says she is, and she's coming back to train a new generation. Oh, really? So she'll take the place of, what was the old man's name? God, what was his name? Some English freaking name. Oh, God. Brain farts. Haven't seen the show in a while. Giles. I hate you, Corso. You got it all there already. Anyway, so yeah. So I guess she'll be the Giles. Okay. That's cool. I like that. I doubt the show will be any good because it'll be hard, you know, to match it because you never match the original. You never recapture the magic. Top Gun Maverick. Freak. You know, they were able to capture the magic and make it even better. You know, really, real treat that was Maverick. The other stuff usually isn't. Pete Fandom from the Pretenders died on April 14th, 1983. I did not know that. Thank you, John. What a band. What a freaking band. Depending on who is involved, it could be a hard reboot. LOL. That's funny. I know Xander messed up. Yeah, Xander had a lot of problems, unfortunately. You know, that's one that you feel bad for the guy, you know, but we all have choices we have to make in life. And sometimes, you know, we make some bad ones and hopefully you get a chance to correct them. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully you get a chance to correct them. By the way, where's the market at? Are we still over 85 or back down into the 84s? What do we got going on in Bitcoin? Give me the latest here. Give me an update. Refresh. 84,000. Went down a whole 1,000. That is awesome. Anything pumping? I know Jasmine's been pumping over the weekend. Still right around where it pumped to over the weekend, so that's good. And then the stock market, it is barely up now. The Dow's only up 47 points. Welcome to the seesaw world, baby. Welcome to the seesaw world. All right. We appreciate all of you tuning in. Those of you that sent in a super chat, thank you. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate you all out there as always. Thank you. However you support our show. please visit our amazing sponsors, Caneswear. Go visit Brett and all the great people out there. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall, Ray and Mike. They do excellent work. 305-345-3649. Damn. Cutter's Edge Pro, William Quigley and all the boys, Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. Toyota of Hollywood, of course. We'll be there the second Wednesday of every month. All kinds of great people. Hialeah Park, $100 no regret first bet, and giving away $50,000 of Bitcoin this month. So every time you play the slots, you get shots in to win. You get a shot in every time. So go play the slots. You might win $50,000 at the end of the month of Bitcoin. Check it out and get your $100 no regret first bet. Use that QR code. Make a bet. Get that $100. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to Sean Stanley. Same time, same place, same bat channel.